morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Daniel Malta, and I am the Advertising Public Affairs Chief for the Denver Army Recruiting Battalion. Today, my presentation is titled Army Marketing: Metrics Are Life. This may seem like a gross exaggeration, but I assure you that statement is fairly accurate when you are working to improve the bottom line of a business or affect the recruiting mission. The main goal of this presentation is to affect change through you, the decision maker, in order for better practices to be implemented on GoArmy.com, as our site is dated and not producing nearly enough return for our recruiters. So why metrics? Well, metrics not only track success and failure of the site, but work to improve elements of the organization by helping users make informed decisions. In the words of Avanish Kaushik, the most impactful thing you will do with web analytics is to tie outcomes to profits and to the bonuses of your report recipients. The main outcomes being offered through a website and its analytics are increased revenue, reduced cost, and improvement of customer management processes. Now, there is no single metric that can tell us whether or not the site is succeeding. Instead, we must look at potentially hundreds of data touchpoints in order to ascertain whether or not every link, tab, message, and call to action is maximized, which together offer consumers a site that is going to benefit them and in turn benefit us. I understand that this takes time, money, resources, and skilled employees that we may not have to accomplish this. But if you look at the state of the market, we really have no choice. There are approximately 21 million Americans ages 17 to 21, which is generally our target demographic. Of those, only 12% or 2.5 million are interested in joining. And of those, only about 29% or 700,000 are eligible for military service due to weight, aptitude, medical, moral, and other legal disqualifiers. So out of 21 million, we have only a pool of about 700,000 across the nation to recruit from. This means that we cannot lose one potential applicant, and in order to ensure we do not lose these customers, we need to listen to what the data is telling us online so we can provide them with the most relevant website possible to ensure they move down the customer corridor to a meaningful conversion. As I stated, there is no one key performance indicator that can determine success or failure. So let's take a look at just one function of the site. Arguably, the most important function of the site is lead generation to help with our recruiter's mission. So how do we improve lead generation? First off, our main organizational KPI is cost per lead. So we should always be tracking the costs of what we produce. A decrease in costs would signal an increase in site effectiveness. Next, looking at the lead card on GoArmy.com, I would definitely want to check bounce rates. High bounce rates on the lead card might signal a change is needed, either in the number of questions being asked or even how the call to action is labeled. Traffic to lead ratio represents the effectiveness of our customer corridor. Are we leading people towards that lead card in the right way? We must ask ourselves these questions. Lastly, by simply increasing organic traffic to the site, we should, in theory, be able to improve lead generation. So this helps us determine what kind of unpaid presence we have out there. Obviously, these are tracking measures and don't necessarily provide a way forward. In short, it presents us just one bit of data that lets us know what needs to be improved. Testing is a totally different story. Now, I've heard many times after complaining that our recruiting headquarters cannot simply afford these things, or we do not have the resources to undergo a complete website remodel. This is not what I am asking for here. By tracking metrics, as I have outlined, which can be done for free through places like Google Analytics, we can make small, single changes and test those changes against the status quo. Something as simple as decreasing the amount of questions on the lead card might improve bounce rates, or simply changing the color of a call to action may improve traffic to lead ratios and the cost per lead. It's not that complicated to change the wording or a color of a call to action button. So we should not be accepting these excuses for inaction. We may not have the ability to remodel the site, but we can improve it. Aside from improving the site, we can also determine a lot about our marketing activities apart from GoArmy.com with these site analytics. By observing the acquisition sources and pitting them against conversion rates per source, we can determine where our money should be spent. This is extremely important as Army Recruiting Headquarters provides absolutely no data to the field for local marketers to be informed in their decision making. For example, looking at key trends and insights, we know from these two metrics that the majority of all traffic comes from organic searching. Though while this number is high, there is almost no return, which thus impacts our organization as we lose thousands of potential applicants. This means that regardless of whether or not you all think we have enough funds to perform multivariate testing and a site remodel, this is a necessity. Looking at referrals, we can see these sources are not only great at acquiring users, but heavily impact our organization by providing a favorable conversion ratio. So more money should be spent here at the national and local level to ensure we are populating the internet with GoArmy.com backlinks from credible, trusted organizations and influencers. Lastly, the most effective source is direct searching, which provides the greatest conversion rates. This makes this source imperative to recruiting as it already is producing for us. So nurturing this source should be a top priority. So while headquarters might love to beat up local recruiters for not producing leads through our broken collection system, local marketers are the only reason this site is still producing. We ensure as many people as possible see the Army brand at GoArmy.com. With that said, everything could use improvements. It doesn't mean that we are failures, but rather that this is something that every organization must realize. You can always improve, but the only way to improve is to understand what needs improving and how to move forward. This is done by consuming and synthesizing analytics. I hope this presentation was informative to you all, and with that, I hope you all can start working towards a culture of metrics at every level. The information and action steps I have provided are only one piece of the puzzle. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to work.